What's up, y'all? I'm Customized Key, and I'm back with another video for y'all. Another one. DJ Khaled voice. So today's video will be about how y'all can finesse y'all freshman year. My freshman year, if y'all haven't seen my other videos, my freshman year was some trash academically. But I did have a lot of fun. There were things that went on my freshman year that were just a mess. It was a mess. And for those of y'all who don't know, my freshman year was really only a semester because I went for the fall semester and then I took a year off to get in-state tuition. But this video, I kind of just want to give y'all some tips on how to finesse your freshman year up. So assuming that you already kind of have an idea of what your schedule looks like, you have an idea of who your professors are going to be, I'm going to basically just move on from steps that you should be taking after your schedule is complete, you have moved in, and it's your first few days on campus before it is time to get started with classes on the first day. I know one of the things that I did that made my life a lot better was the days before school started, I looked at my schedule and I tried to figure out where my classes were actually at. And I went to them. I went to the building. I went and found the room and, tried to figure out, okay, what's the best way for me to get here? As a freshman, I'm not even going to hold you up. I was one of them people who was out there with a map, looking real freshman-y, and trust me, upperclassmen can tell who the freshmen are. It don't matter how cool you look, how cool you think you are. They're going to be able to tell if you're a freshman. Now, as an upperclassman, it was sometimes when I did send people off just because they was freshmen, and it was fun. I never done it before. But don't be afraid to ask for help. I know at Michigan State, we have a campus app, and that app was not out my freshman year. I wish it was, because that app had a lot of good information on it. So that app would do things like tell us the next time the bus was coming, depending on what bus we were traveling on, what neighborhood we were coming from. It would tell us what calves were having that night for dinner, for breakfast, for lunch. So I was able to be like, ooh, I see they having Philly cheesesteaks and Snyder Phillips. That's where I'm going for dinner. It was able to tell me, they had an interactive map, which would give me walking instructions. It would show me, give me the turn-by-turn directions on how to get to certain places. It would tell me different buses that would take me to different classes, different buildings, and just really good tools to help me navigate campus. So if you have a prospective school, kind of look into it and see if they have any apps or, any interactive things that you can put on your phone to kind of help you get around campus a lot smoother. Look up your university. Look up where your classes are going to be. If you know that you are an English major, or you're a graphic art and design major, or you are a marketing major or advertising major, most colleges for class schedules, they usually have the majority of their classes in one particular section on campus. So for example, if I know that I am an advertising major and I'm at Michigan State, the majority of my classes might be in comm arts, because that's where the majority of maybe the equipment is, and maybe the software is, and the computer labs for those particular majors. I know that a lot of engineering majors, they all had their classes in one building, and they also had study labs and resource centers and computer labs that were built just for that major, because they contain certain softwares, they contain certain operating systems and things of that nature. So if you know that you have a major already established going into college, try to look that up for your prospective university and see how that will play out for you, so that you will have a general idea of where your classes will be, as well as how you'll get there from the dorm that you would be living in. Also, while you're out exploring, trying to find your classes and see where things are at, try to see what resources are in those neighborhoods. So, for example, I lived in Brody neighborhood my freshman year. I stayed in Butterfield, and I know that within Brody Square, there is a math learning center. There's an Olin Health Clinic extension there. There is a Sparty's there, which is like a little convenience store. There is a cafeteria that's there, and there's also a computer lab there. There are rooms that can be rented out for student engagement, student involvement. There's a caucus room that's there, and I learned all of these things just from exploring. I went and ventured off into different dorms. Some dorms have gyms within them. They have gym equipment within that dorm. So, you know, just really use your time to explore, find resources, walk in buildings and ask questions, and, you know, just see what your campus has to offer. Another big thing, find out if freshmen at your university can have cars. At Michigan State, freshmen were not allowed to have cars simply because there just was not enough parking available. You can pay for a parking pass, and that's always great, but even still, there's just a very limited amount of space. So it may be random, but just try to see if your university has a rule where they say that freshmen are not allowed to have cars on campus, because that definitely will play a big role for you if you are one of those people who have a car in high school. Moving on, academically, I would say, one, my biggest piece of advice is to try to get your GPA as high as you possibly can your freshman year, because it will make the rest of your college experience smooth sailing, pretty much. It's a lot harder to bring up an F than it is to maintain an A. And with that being said, I wish that I would have known that. I mean, in high school, I didn't really have to I just maintained an A. I never had any F's. I never had any D's. And I rarely ever got a C. I think I got a C like maybe twice in my whole high school career. But I say that because as you matriculate and go into your junior and senior year, your classes will get harder. They will. They are of a higher level. They are increased intensity, increased rigor. And there are just adjustments that will need to be made that may be challenging. And just knowing that you have that cushion of a GPA, it will definitely lighten your load as far as what will be expected of you academically. With that being said, when you schedule your class, you need to look at the reviews. You need to ask around. You need to find out the background of your professor. You need to know, okay, do this person curve? Are they hard? Do they offer extra credit? And if they offer extra credit, I don't care if you had a 4.3 in the class. In the highest you can get is a 4.0. Do the extra credit. Just do the extra credit, because you never know. When them exams start rolling, you be like, man, I killed this exam. Yeah, you killed it all right. It's going to be that time where you get that one exam back and you be like, man, I was so confident about it. But you have the extra credit to kind of come in and be like, don't trip. I got you. Don't worry. We still good. You know, so I didn't always do the extra credit in all of my courses. And I wish I had of, because it would have been a good save for some classes that were really, really hard. So please do your work on your professors. Look them up. Find them on Facebook. See what other people are saying. I know a lot of sites are like KUWM, and we used to have like one like all MSU. But go look up your professors and try to figure it out. Find out when the add and drop dates are. Those are days when you can drop your courses before your grade is reported. And there's usually one for people who are expecting a refund, so they're getting their money back for that class. Or there's a drop date. There's a second drop date for when you can't get a refund, but you still can drop the class without your grade being reported. Find ducked off study lounges. This was the major plug when I was at Michigan State. So just as a spoiler, I'm going to tell y'all where I used to study at. I hope this don't cause those study places to kind of like be overcrowded. But my favorite ducked off study lounges were the basement of the student services building. There was a computer lab down there. It used to be nobody down there. Me and my best friend, we used to go down there all the time, and we used to get so much work done. The study lounge on the 3rd floor of Bessie Hall. There's a computer lounge up there. Awesome place to study. The library. I used to go on the 2nd floor of the East Wing, I believe it was. And then I know on the 3rd floor of the West Wing. It's really quiet up there. There are like cubicle-like computers, and it was a really good quiet space. The law library at Michigan State, that was like one of my favorite places to study, only because everybody in the law college, they're about their business. They're not there to socialize. They're not there to hang out. They're going to ignore you if you try to have a conversation with them. And it forces you to be more conscious of the fact that you need to utilize your time wisely. You're here because you need to do what everybody else is doing. Everybody else in here is studying, so you should be studying. It's just a great place that sets the tone and allows you to really hone in on things. 2 more tips for you all, and then we will wrap this video up. 1, always your freshman year, you should be taking university requirements. You should be taking prerequisites, period. If you want to take an elective, that's cool, but I like to save the electives for like my junior and senior year. It just kind of makes things fun, takes a load off, and it definitely lightens my schedule. But please start with your university requirements. University requirements are meant for freshmen. They are. They are a great transition into college. They understand that you're fresh out of high school, so they don't have a problem with being in the teaching stage for maybe the first week or so. And it's just a great GPA builder. It is. It's not, most of those classes are not weeder classes. They aren't hard. They're mostly introductory level classes, and they're guaranteed to help you get a great grade and start off your freshman year and your college career on a good note. So please do that. Second tip, do not be afraid to ask for help. Do not be afraid to ask for help. In any situation, the people who don't ask are the ones who struggle. In my freshman year, I struggled a lot because I didn't ask for help. Outside of my family drama that was weighing in a lot on me my freshman year, I had a lot going on simply because I didn't ask people for help. I had a hard time with going to office hours because I'm like, I don't even know you. Like, I now got to come sit in your office and talk to you. But some of those professors who I went and talked to when I finally did start asking for help, they were more than willing to help because most people don't even go to the office hours anyway. So people who show up to office hours, they get the plug, they get the finesse, you know, they get to understand where the professor coming from a lot more. They get and then the end, they are also able to ask those professors for letters of recommendation for anything else that they might be venturing off into for later parts of their life. So I hope that you all have enjoyed this video. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, any videos that you want me to do, any topics that you want me to talk about, most definitely leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Booyah! I'm out.